Let's go out. Let's go out scalping.
What's
It
up,
just
everybody?
really captivated.
Welcome to Tuck Rule Takes,
I'm gonna
episode
work
96.
that into conversation in this episode.
He did.
This is
Al's
the
getting scalped.
episode
Al
96.
getting-
This is the I hate to say it, but this is the Adalius Thomas episode.
Ew.
But okay, it was either
Hey,
him. I
I liked
Sam
liked him
Roberts.
before he came to the team. Does that
So
count?
did I. Everybody did. So
Yeah, okay.
or actually, you know what? I could go Andre Carter. Everybody liked
There
Andre
you
Carter.
go.
Yes.
But
bad
for all
motherfucker.
intents and purposes, that's who it is. What's up? Welcome to Tuck Rule Takes, episode 96, the Andre Carter
Scalping
episode of Tuck Rule Takes. You heard Liam, some sort of weird fetish towards scalping right now.
Not fetish, just
Uh,
confusion. How is it a trend?
Fetish. Al's here with us, obviously. I'm Mike. We're here. Got a lot to talk about. Second preseason game. Also, people returning from injury. I'm excited about one player that returned. We'll get to that in a second, in a little bit. But yeah, just a lot of stuff going on. I think there's a lot of topics, a lot of storylines coming from the second game there, which the Patriots did win. Not that it really matters, but the Patriots did win. I forget the score. I don't
By
even-
default.
21-17.
Yeah, 21-17. They won, stopped the game early. So I think we'll just get into it. Where would you guys do you guys want to start with the Isaiah Bolden injury, or
Oh.
Liam, where do you want to go? We'll start with Liam. What do you want to start with, my friend? Look at you. We're putting your hands up.
He's so
Don't say
chipper
scalping.
today.
Don't say scalping.
I'm so pissed. This won't be about scalping. We'll get to that. It'll come full circle. I will tie everything into scalping at the end.
Organically bring that up.
Of
Oh,
course,
gosh.
the Patriots have only had one player catch a receiving touchdown. And of course, it was the guy that I bet on against Al last week. But of course, he doesn't fucking do it last week. He does this
You
week. And
suck.
see, I'm going to scalp you, Al. And see, that, my friends, is why I stopped gambling, because you can be right on the money. You can have a great idea. You can have an inkling. You can feel that lightning bolt hit you in the tip of your penis and still get it wrong. I was so close, but yet 7 days too far. It's fucking ridiculous. But yeah, I just want to say, Al, fuck you. I knew Kayshon Boutte was going to do it. Future Hall of Fame Patriots are at wide receiver. We're at number 80.
Hey,
So
two
we'll
things.
start there then.
Well, two things with that real fast. Number
yeah,
one,
yeah. We'll start with,
thank
we'll
you
start
for
with
thank
Boutte.
you for the coffee money, by the way. That paid for my Dunkin' Donuts coffee, so thank you. And
You
number
should.
two, sorry, I can't even remember what number two was, because he's talking about the scalping thing, and it's
Listen,
just
You won't need to remember number 2. You'll be scalped by the time you remember it.
Understand.
I don't get it.
But Kayshon Boutte did score. So granted, it wasn't
You can say he
from-
scalped the defense.
wasn't from Mac, and he did. So I think the play, Kayshon Boutte, wide receiver from LSU, finally scored. It looked like that play, that little slant that he took in, looked like many of the touchdowns that he scored when he was in college. I saw a lot of like the plays side by side with them.
Best believe.
That's definitely a good sign, because I guess he had a good week of practice. He showed up again today.
I was
guess,
looking
too.
at practice today too. He balled out. He had like 5
Yeah.
catches, 1 deep one.
Yeah, so I think I want to ask you guys, do you think right now, between the 3 that I would assume that are kind of on the bubble, if we're going, and Al, I think you know the 3 people I'm going to bring up.
Yeah.
It is Pop Douglas, Demario Douglas, Kayshon Boutte, or Malik Cunningham. Out of those 3, who do you think are the 2 that make the 53-man roster? I think it's easy. I'm going Douglas and Boutte. I think it's
Yeah.
even though Cunningham looks electric.
Pretty funny how the Pop Douglas hype really died down after Booty has 1 good week of practice and then scores in a game. I haven't heard shit about him.
He had to practice. Douglas went to the upper field during practice today, I guess. So I guess he's not really injured, but he only played he barely played in the second game. He had a couple
Yeah.
catches. Obviously, we saw it looked a little shifty and everything, but yeah, Boutte is kind of coming in, which I think if you're going back and forth trading talented weeks or or things like that, I think this is just a good problem. If you got
Oh,
Douglas
definitely.
and Boutte and you're like, shit, like who do you start? We'll keep them both, whatever. I think it sucks for Malik Cunningham, quarterback turned wide receiver turned maybe quarterback, but I just don't think, I don't think there's a spot on the active roster being the keyword.
I mean, let's not dump our whole load on the first go here. Douglas had 2 catches for 17 yards, so it's not like he did anything crazy.
No,
I don't think he recorded a catch in the first game, and then
no. He only played one drive, which I think that more so than anything is a sign that he's already he is that fourth receiver. If you want to talk about Tyquan Thornton also being injured, Tyquan Thornton might be out too. I don't know. Something happened with his shoulder or whatever. He's still injured, but yeah, Douglas only played like the one drive in the first game. You're right though. I don't think he didn't have any catches or anything like that. Booty obviously had the touchdown in the second game. I don't know. Like I said, I think it's a good issue to have. Al, Booty, because I think Liam, you got problems going on with your speaker right now.
Yeah, he does.
yeah, fucking the headphones up.
Yeah,
The headphones up. They'll die out on me like 2 or 3 times. It's fucking ridiculous. These wireless headphones are terrible.
But yeah, Douglas Booty.
Yeah, and Booty wasn't great in the first game either. I'm not going to stand on my high horse. And then the last game, 3 for 34. If he didn't have that touchdown, it would be a subpar, barely noticeable performance.
Mhm.
But it's not like either one of them, like, oh my God, Douglas had 5 catches in the first game, and now Booty has 5 catches and a long touchdown in the second one. Like, no, it's not like a heated battle by any means. None of this really gets the flag up the pole for me.
No, but I think it's good that now Booty's starting to show up. It would have sucked if he kind of was missing in game 2, and then it's like, all right, I mean, you got to play him all of game 3 again and just hope that he kind of shows up there. And now it kind of makes sense if Douglas does kind of, I don't know, fade to the background a little bit. Maybe this little injury he's got or something like that kind of comes up. Maybe Booty takes his spot. I don't know. They're both going to get playing time though, with Tyquan Thornton being out since the Green Bay. He got hurt in practice, right? If I remember correctly, right? Yeah. So I mean, there's room for Booty and Douglas, and now you got the question, is Tyquan Thornton, is he a little fragile? Those tiny wrists, is he injury prone? I don't know. At this point, looking at it, I don't care. I just want talented receivers. Patriots already have 3, even though Liam thinks that one of them in Juju is not talented. But yeah, no, the Booty touchdown was good. I knew you were going to be excited about that.
Yeah, fired up. The minute I saw it, so horny. It was unbelievable. But he also didn't look like he was running full speed or didn't look particularly. It almost looked like the defense gave up when he scored. I saw his college highlights. I saw him live playing against Auburn. It just looked like he was kind of half-assing it. Even though he scored, I was still like, he looks like me out there running around. And I'm like, oh,
well,
kind of weird.
That ankle injury, didn't he, or something like that?
Yeah,
that kind of that.
He destroyed his ankle in college. But
so I don't know.
I don't know. He scored, dope, long touchdown, and apparently he had a good week of practice. But just the one really big highlight that we have from him, didn't really look like the guy was moving. It just looked awkward to me.
Yeah. He looks like one of those runners where he's running, but it's something wrong. You got a little hitch in your giddy up. What's going on?
I don't know if it's the Darren McFadden problem where he just runs standing straight up, and you're like, dude,
you wildest thing.
Yeah, especially if you're a running back, you're like, dude, you're gonna get decapitated.
Crazy way
to scalped. He could get scalped.
Gonna keep bringing up scalp. There was another receiver, by the way, who this is kind of I wanted to bring this up. Who was not utilized at all last year. I think I don't know if made the fans kind of down on him. I've been a little down on him. I have done almost a complete 180. I think Kendrick Bourne. We have been sitting here asking, who's our number 1 receiver? Is it Devontae Parker? Is Juju going to step in? Were we going to get DeAndre Hopkins? When there were free agents around, who's going to come around? All that fun shit. Julio Jones, things like that. Is it crazy to say that Kendrick Bourne is going to be the number 1 option on this team, the number 1 receiver?
No.
Is he going to go over 1,000 yards this year?
Maybe. If he stays in New England all year.
Yeah, and I saw that too. In what are you referring to? What was it? Not the DraftKings, but it was something.
The FoxSports.com article.
Fox Sports that said that he could potentially be a trade piece. That was the only thing I saw. I didn't see anybody else really say anything about it. I mean, to me, looking at that, he could be a potential trade piece, 80% of the roster could be too. Like, I don't know. I think if Booty and Douglas were, showing him up and everything in practice and during the game, sure, maybe Kendrick Bourne would get traded. But I don't know. You can see, like, you just see in the game how valuable he is. I think last year was a huge missed opportunity for him and for the offense, even though I wasn't, and I'm still not quite as high as everybody thought he was going to be like the savior last year and everything. But I don't know, just looking at it, he stays healthy. He seems to be on like the same wavelength with Mac. Like, I think we've been looking all these places for our number one receiver. I think we've had him the whole time in Kendrick Bourne. What do you guys think?
I think so, because it's just the rapport that he has with Mac. It's the fact that he's actually being used in the offense this year, which is crazy to think about. What will always forever be crazy to me, and I would love to talk to Matt Patricia. I would grill him on this and say, you had a wide receiver in Kendrick Bourne that played well with Mac Jones in his rookie year in 2021. What the hell was your thinking in benching him of all of 22? Now, of course, his fallback could be, well, he missed a team meeting, everything. Yeah, I missed a team meeting in preseason. Why are you sitting him the whole regular season and basically burying him on the
bench? Punish him for 1 week if you need to.
That's all you got to do. Punish him for like a day, make the offense run like some extra sprints or something, and then move on. But there was something I just will never understand what Matt Patricia didn't like in Kendrick Bourne, and it drives me nuts. Now, am I saying that Kendrick Bourne's going to be like a Jamar Chase or like I don't know, like a CeeDee Lamb or something like that? No, obviously not. But he's somebody.
Lamb sucks too, but yeah.
But you get the point. He can. Yeah. Okay, fine. Here, I'll do one for you that you like. AJ Brown. There you go. So again, Kendrick Bourne is somebody that can get you 700 to 800 yards, can probably get you, 3 or 4 touchdown receptions, and he's a guy that can extend drives for you. So if you have that, along with a guy like Hunter Henry, who also has a great rapport with Mac Jones and can be those safety blankets, then why not keep him on the field for 70, 75, 80% of the snaps?
Something like a number one receiver doesn't need to be a, AJ Brown, DeAndre Hopkins either. I mean, Edelman was the number one receiver here for how long? And he would not have been a number one anywhere else, So I think it's just number one in this offense, like the most utilized kind of security blanket thing. Yeah, I think Kendrick Bourne. I do love how Liam said that he didn't like CeeDee Lamb strictly because of
just because I love CeeDee Lamb originally, but yeah, fuck them. I like your thinking outside of the box here. I like this whole prompt. I like this idea, the fact that maybe we've been looking elsewhere when we got it in house, but I want to believe it. You guys are absolutely right. The rapport is there. 55 catches, 5 tubs, 800 yards in his first season with Mac. But then the drop off was so big last year. Yes, we can blame Matt Patricia, and maybe Bourne was acting like a bit of a jackass at some points, which led to him being in the doghouse. But it's hard for me to imagine or even think of another time in history where a receiver is going to go from 35 catches and 434 yards with 1 single touchdown against the Bengals to number one receiver, where you'd hope, it would be a safe assumption, or our expectations would be, again, like his first year, we want 800 yards, 5 touchdowns sounds like a great number. If there's a lot of weapons, 4. But I want a healthy amount of touchdowns coming through the air this year. It's a hard thought for me to have, to think that he goes from 400 yards and 1 touchdown to then being our number one receiver. It's just, that's purely it. That's my only gripe. My only thing is it is such a leap now where it's really hard for me to fathom that idea. It'd be a great comeback. It'd be cool. I do love the dude. He's got swag. Ever since that touchdown against the Saints where he mossed the dude on the sideline, reached out, and then danced out of bounds, dude, got it. I love it. But it's just hard for me to imagine that he's ever going to be that endearing to a coaching staff that still has Bill Belichick at the helm, who probably saw him acting like a bit of a dipshit last year. I don't know.
Especially with all the weapons too. There's a bunch of other weapons. Like Al, you said, Hunter Henry, I think he's going to have a huge year. I mean, that's all anybody's talking about, is that he has showed up every single practice. He's been there. Him and Mac have their thing. I mean, and then you got Devontae Parker. You just extended him. Juju, you just signed him, so you're going to feed him as well. and then you got the 2 rookies too. So it's like, I guess I'm kind of like playing the opposite side of my opinion on the question that I asked.
Yeah.
Where it's like, is he going to be a number one? I could see him doing it, but then at the same time, like, is he going to get the opportunity?
Yeah, I mean, like, are we even going to have a number one? I mean, obviously, by default, at the end of
Yeah.
the season, you could look and go, oh, Mike Gesicki or Hunter Henry or
Mhm.
Devontae Parker, whoever has the most highest counting stats and whatnot, you can go, they're the number one receiver. But you can go a whole season and go, I don't really know who our number one receiver is. We kind of move it around
Yeah.
all the time.
Especially with running too, because Stevenson's going to play a huge part. Zeke's
Yeah.
here, so he's going to get some carries too.
But
so,
like I said, I want passing this year. Like it's a modern league. As much as I love a defensive shootout and I love grit and grind, running the football and whatnot, like I like the old school 2000 style. It's the modern league for a reason. I want to see a 49-45 game. Like I love high scoring affairs. I'd
Mhm.
like us to be able to throw a lot of touchdowns and be in those games. Not that Belichick's defense would ever give up that much unless it's to Nick Foles, but still. I'd love to see it. I think it would be awesome. Imagine Kendrick Bourne.
Scalp you.
Not a
Nick
terrible idea.
Foles.
But it's true. It's not a
goodness.
terrible idea. Hey,
My
fucking
goodness.
14 points to Eli Manning. That sounds good. But friggin', it would be great. Like I would love that. I do like Kendrick Bourne as much as I shit on him, but he made every mistake in the book. The Cardinals game when he had the drop on third down, he had a false start, all in the same game, and you're like, dude, like you destroyed the Cowboys last year. How can you not catch wide open third downs? And that's like the Kendrick Bourne problem, I guess, where the pendulum swings hard both ways. I'd love to see it. I just don't think it's realistic. I think it's pie in the sky, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's been my thing with him was that last year. And I mean, you can kind of call it kind of like I said a couple weeks ago, where it's like you have a shooter come off the bench in the NBA. You can't.
Yeah.
He's going to miss a bunch of shots because he's not warm. So putting Kendrick Bourne in here and there sporadically, like he's not warmed up. It's tough to get in any sort of rhythm. Ball comes to you, you're excited, but still, it just like you just get in your own head. It's one of those weird things about sports. But I mean, Belichick has done nothing but praise him, but he does praise people anyway. But at the very least, it seems like Belichick is on his side. I mean, we won't know until obviously the season comes, and if he gets traded, then we're all just stupid, and we all just didn't see it coming.
Whoa.
Yeah, we didn't see it coming, but I don't know. I just thought it was nice. He had that one catch when Mac was kind of off his back foot, backpedaling a little bit. He kind of threw it. Bourne went up, high pointed the ball. That was nice. RPO too, which by the way, I don't know if you guys knew, Patriots right now in the preseason, 2 preseason games, but they're the third highest team who's been running RPOs so far in the preseason. Like I said, I know it's only 2 games, but I like that because everybody said coming out of college, that's something that Mac Jones was good at. He's good at reading the defenses, seeing what's going on. So you give him the option to, do a little run pass there. It should be good. It's just nice to see an actual offense have like, plays and schemes and things like that. Like Bill O'Brien said, we're not splitting the atom here, which I don't think that was a shot at Matt Patricia at all. I know people said that was, or people were like, "Oh my God, it's a shot." It's a common saying. I think he was talking about Zeke coming over anyway, so that he would the gist of the quote was, we're not splitting atoms here. It's not rocket science. Zeke knows football.
Let's just simplify the offense. It's a term for simplification, I guess.
No, that's all it was. But no, either way though, it was still nice to see that. What else you guys want to talk about with the game? Like I said, there's a bunch of things, but I know you guys got things you want to talk about with it too. Where do you want to go next?
I hate to do it, but we got to do it. I play both sides of the coin here. Bailey Zappi.
Al, this is you, bro. If you want to talk about him, I'm
dead silence fell across for a good 2 seconds there.
I don't care. Okay, you know what, Al? I know I said it was you. I'll toss you in a second. I don't give a fuck about Bailey Zappi. I do not. I understand he's a Patriots player. He's a backup. He's a lightning rod. He's a name. We got to talk about him. I do not care. I don't understand. There are no other teams that talk about their backup quarterbacks this much when there is a starter in place. Like there is no quarterback competition. Why are we still talking about when they throw up Mac Jones's stats right underneath. It's Bailey Zappi. I don't care. I don't care. Sure, whatever he did, played well. Offensive line doesn't want to block for him. I think, Al, you mentioned that in the text when we were watching the game. I don't care. Bailey Zappi, great topic. Al, I'm passing it to you though. Backup quarterback. Every time we bring up Bailey Zappi, that's all I'm going to say. Backup quarterback. Al, what do you have?
Al plays the field here. I'm curious.
Yeah.
Well, here's the reason that's getting talked about is because the New England Patriots, the last 3 seasons are combined 25 and 26. So they can't talk
25
about
and 25.
I'm counting the playoff game against Buffalo.
I'm not.
Yeah,
But okay, so
I
even
get
so, 25
Even.
and 25, you're
Yeah.
a 500 football team, literally.
Yep.
And there's nothing else. Excuse me. There's nothing else really to talk about. I mean, the reason that it's happening with the Patriots because you had the same quarterback for 20 years or close to 20 years. So there was never this battle. When was the last true battle? It was Bledsoe. I brought up before. It was Bledsoe and Brady when Bledsoe came back in 2001.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So now, and then obviously, you had the Cam Newton, Mac Jones, kind of contest in 2021, which Mac Jones seems like
scalped him. He scalped him.
He did.
Since that's Liam's favorite term.
That was bad.
Yeah.
So with that, that's why it's getting talked about because it wasn't talked about before, and everyone's like, it's like a movie storyline, right? It's like Mac Jones doesn't succeed in 2022. What will he do in 2023? Will Bailey Zappi take over the starting role and end Mac Jones' career in New England? Stay tuned to find out.
I get it, but the thing is, we had this talk last year too. Like, I know you said that it hasn't happened. It didn't happen for 20 years. It's happened ever since Bailey Zappi came in and Mac Jones had a rough year. But the thing is, whenever people talk about it, they always say in the next one of the following sentences, even though last year they didn't really have a good offensive coordinator and there was probably X, Y, Z, but let's still talk about Bailey Zappi and Mac Jones and fabricate some bad.
Exactly. What's the reason that's still getting talked about? Because last year,
because it gets clicks and views.
Well, not only that, 1 or 2 things didn't have to happen, and then this wouldn't be a discussion. Mac Jones doesn't get hurt, then Bailey Zappi doesn't play, and even if Bailey Zappi plays, if he goes 1 and 2 in those games, or even 0 and 3, it's like it's not even a discussion. It's like, it's Mac Jones' team, and that's all it's going to be. But because he did well, and because Mac did get hurt, and Zappi did something with his opportunities, that's why it's a story. And going to continue to be a story
against bad teams.
Yeah,
I think
beat up on the Lions and the Browns.
I don't know what else needs to happen though. Mac Jones taking all the first team reps in practice, and Mac Jones is playing these preseason games like a starter. He sat out the first game with all the starters. He played the second game with the starters. Like, Bailey Zappi is the backup. It's nice when, like, game 1 for the preseason, give me Bailey Zappi stats. It was just him. It was him, McSorley, and Cunningham. Awesome. You got to do all of them because they're kind of fighting for the second, maybe that like third special quarterback that teams are going to have now. But now that Matt, it's just he's a backup. So like, it's cool to bring up his name because it's one of the things where people are like, oh, Zappi mean, you Zappi fever, you catch the fever. Like, oh my God. No. The fever has been diagnosed. It's done. We all took the antidote for it. Most of us did. It's just, we had this whole thing last year. And this is part of why, even though I think he would be a good backup, I don't want him on the team because it's people talk about how I was just going to say, people talk about how like Cam Newton would have been a distraction if he was a backup quarterback. At this point, I think he'd be less of a distraction than Bailey Zappi. Because every time you bring up Mac Jones, because what happens is you bring up Bailey Zappi, then you have people talk about it. Then they say that this is exactly how the conversation goes. It goes, well, Mac Jones is the starter. Well, Zappi did well last year. Well, he played against bad teams. Mac Jones didn't play much better when he came in. Well, he didn't have a good offense. Well, Zappi played well under that thing. Well, he played a bad team. Well, and it just keeps going back and forth, volleyballing back and forth.
And there's
no
real answer.
No, and people also forget that Mac Jones is coming back from an injury too. His first major injury in the NFL. I mean, he's only been in it for 2 years at that point, so whatever.
First major injury ever. Fucker didn't get hurt in college either. He didn't get touched in college.
He doesn't get a complete pass, just like the team doesn't get a complete pass for last year. But you hear how people are talking about about this year's team on offense, like the players, hearing them talk about it, they all like last year to them was like purgatory. If you listen to
Yeah.
them talk, they're like, yeah, like
As it
there's
should.
there's things like I think it was Adrian Phillips talking today where he was like, Mac Jones, he took last year on the chin, but he's coming in, he's showing up, he's showing out. Like everybody knows. And I think this was even reported last year, wasn't it? When it came out that the players know that Mac Jones wasn't getting a fair shake. So like the team still rallied around him.
Yeah.
It's just like we all know,
Yeah.
we all saw it. Like we all saw what was going on.
And not just Mac, and I know we're talking about the Mac Zappe conversation right now, but even just going back to last year, it wasn't just Mac. Like Kendrick Bourne, a guy that we have been talking about this episode, he had I think it was the press conference after the Monday night game against Buffalo, where he was just like, yeah, we just gotta get on the same page. Like, I want to be out there and stuff. And
which I'm sure that didn't help. I'm sure.
I was going to say that sealed his fate probably for last season.
Yeah.
That's probably where Matt Patricia's like, yep, I did the right thing. Like, and I'm going to keep doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So again, just last year was it was an abomination to watch. And not only was it an abomination, it was an irregularity amongst Patriots fans, because we're not used to seeing that. We're not used to seeing such dysfunction in one phase of the ball or just within the organization. So
because the Patriots were what in 2020 2020 the Patriots were what 10-6, right? They made the playoffs going 10-6 if I remember correctly.
2020 or 2019.
2019
because 2020 was the Cam Newton year.
Yeah, 2021 with Mac.
2021 they went 10-7. Yeah.
They went 10. Yeah, so good year, good building blocks. We all agreed. Like this was good. You had a rookie quarterback. You made it to the playoffs. Sure, you got demolished in the playoffs, but guess what? You still got there. It was awesome. So we all had these high hopes for last year. And I think a lot of people were raising their eyebrows to the coaching moves and everything, but we were all kind of like, all right, let's see how it happens. Like, we still have a good solid team. And it, like you said, it was kind of a debacle. And it kind of goes back to my point, which I think we were talking about when Bill O'Brien came here, where I think the plan was for Bill O'Brien to come here last year, but it just, he wouldn't do it. He didn't want to leave Alabama before his contract was. I remember there was all that stuff that happened.
Yeah, he had 1 year left on his Alabama contract.
Yeah, so Belichick kind of brought in people he knew, who knew the offense. It turned out to be shitty, or knew the team. Wasn't a great thing. It sucks that you kind of punted on Mac's second year.
Yeah.
But now we're on to this. I say all that to say this. Bailey Zappe is a backup. That's basically what I'm saying. Like,
and I brought him up because the counting stats are nice. I don't think his percentages are great. 10 of 22 is not that good. 22 is actually a nice handful of passes that he got. And, 10 of them is not a great percentage. 117, not the yards I would expect for 22 passes, but 117 in a preseason game is fine. And then the passing touchdown, the rushing touchdown, that's what gives people, the eyebrow raise. Like, oh, Bailey Zappe scored 2 touchdowns. Like, Mac hasn't scored a touchdown this preseason. It's like, okay, yeah, I get it. It's dumb. But he did have a fine.
But it happens. It happens because people, like you said, people look at it because this conversation doesn't normally happen by, not saying that we're any fucking experts at all by any means, but just like people who kind of look at it like a little bit more in depth than just your normal fans watching. They grew up in New England. They watch football because football's religion. So it's like, we're going to watch it. And, oh, let me look, how come Mac Jones was in? Didn't do much, but Bailey Zappe had a rushing touchdown and a passing one. Why isn't this guy playing? And then,
Mac Jones is 6 of 9, so.
Nice. Mac Jones had a good game, and I want to talk about him too. Because Liam, you DM me something that I want to do too, which I think would be good with Mac Jones. But like people look at it and it's like, well, why isn't Zappe in there? And then what happens? Because your local media needs people to listen or click or read their stuff. They then start doing should Bailey Zappe maybe start? And then all of a sudden it starts to perpetuate and get bigger and bigger and bigger until all of a sudden it's a storyline that shouldn't be there anyways. You know what I mean? Right. So and I'm saying that this year, because last year, sure, if you wanted to have the conversation, You could, because it was Mac Jones did not look good for stretches of the season, for games and everything. And then, I think it was Mac Jones came in his first game back, didn't play well. They took him out. They put Zappy in immediately, threw a pat, like it came in and scored a touchdown, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
So it's like, Jesus, like it just, the stars were not aligned.
Yeah.
But yeah, for Mac Jones though, I do think, because now we'll kind of circle to Mac Jones. I think he had a good game. I think he had a nice pass to Devontae Parker that, like, I don't know if you guys know the one I'm talking about, the deep one. It looked like it was a good pass. It looked like it clipped Parker's fingertips. I heard people saying that Parker probably would have laid out if it was a regular game. Like, that's one of those ones where, like, it was a hairline off. So I think it was a good pass. Could have been caught. If it was a regular season, I'm sure Parker would have caught it. But
also, Devontae Parker shouldn't be in that situation. He's not a separation type receiver. He's a contested type of receiver, a comeback receiver. Like, that's what they need him to do.
Hey,
they don't need
we're
him
paying
going
him money. He should be able to run the route tree. I don't care if
we've seen him make those catches, though. That's the thing. We
Yeah.
have seen him, go deep and make the catches. So I mean,
I don't care if he has to catch it turned the other way behind his back. Fucking, we're paying him a lot of money.
You're
Catch
paying
the
him now.
fucking
Yeah,
ball.
yeah. Multi-year extension. So he's got to make catches. And I think he will be, because I do think when it comes down to it, I think he will be the if you want to label a number one, I think he's the betting favorite right now, even though I think Bourne is coming up behind him. But Mac Jones looked good. There were a couple, he was moving around in the pocket. He checked into a running play on Stevenson's touchdown. It looks like they're kind of giving him more
touchdown. I know it was like a 3-yard run, but man, that guy is fast. Like, shot out of a cannon.
He went in there.
Fast.
Yeah, he went in there. And then on that one, you see the right side of the line. And what's his name? Antonio Mafi. The two rookies were kind of leading the way there. Kind of a good sign for them. That was a good little drive there. I thought it was nice. But yeah, Mac Jones, first time we saw him, what are your guys' reactions to it?
Al?
Look good.
Yeah.
Designated Mac Jones says, Hater says he looks good.
No, Mac looked good. The only play that I would have liked to see him hit that he didn't was the Hunter Henry seam down the kind of like the right side of the field, because he had Hunter Henry.
Yeah,
but otherwise,
and
I said this on my other podcast, he looked good. He looked the part, took advantage of the RPOs really well, hitting Kendrick Bourne. And take a look at the sequence on that drive where they scored the touchdown, right? They take advantage of the Jordan Love botched snap. They get it inside the red zone. Where were the Patriots terrible in last year, gentlemen, especially the red zone? Immediately hits Kendrick Bourne for a 13-yard pass, gets him inside the 10, draws an important pass interference call on Devontae Parker, third down, trying to get that little fade in the back right corner of the end zone.
That was a legit one too. He grabbed the jersey. That wasn't, that was pass interference. So can't say it was too ticky-tack.
And then you pound the ball in from the 1-yard line, score a touchdown. Shout out to Matt Sokol on that play, by the way. Having a really good camp. I could see
blocking
him.
Tight end.
I was going to say, make his way on as a blocking tight end.
He's the one. Yeah, there's always, Belichick loves to have that one blocking tight end. I think he's going to be the guy there, which is nice. But
I like that undrafted tight end they got there. I was kind of hoping he would do better, and there hasn't really been anything. I forget his name, like Limp Bizkit or something like that. But
Limp Bizkit. Yeah. No, I know who you're talking
Lumpkin?
about. Though.
Yeah,
whatever.
Lumpkin.
Yeah,
He's been a no-show.
Yeah. I think that was a good. I think that's going to be kind of what the Patriots drives look like a lot. You're going to kind of pass your way down there. A couple out routes, things like that, deep pass here and there. Once you get in the red zone, like I just don't want to see them get too cute where it's like, let's do all these, let's do these crazy crossing patterns, or, let's throw a fade 3 times in a row. Let's throw
we
a
don't
screen.
need a Kendrick Bourne end around in the end zone.
You don't need that. Hand it off to fucking Ramondre Stevenson. If you want to put Zeke back there, put him back there too. I just run it right in. Line up your guys against their guys and just overpower them for 3, 4, 5 yards, whatever you need. If you want to throw a little play action off that, I'm fine. But we don't need these crazy Josh McDaniels end arounds, like you said. We don't that's not it. You have one of the top running backs in the league. Use him. Please use him.
Yeah.
But Liam, you sent me a DM about Mac Jones. You kind of, what was it, listing
Yeah, so it was-
quarterbacks? What were you thinking?
Name the current NFL starting quarterbacks that you would want over Mac Jones. And he gave a very high praise toward Mac list where he named the givens basically. And then he threw in Trevor Lawrence, which I thought was not right. But obviously, I'll get to my list, but I want to hear you guys' first because all I hear is Mac Jones hate. So to hear some guy, probably just some random dude fucking throwing stuff up on the internet, but it's nice to know through that sea of hatred that there's a believer out there.
There's someone
Yeah.
out there, flying the flag of Mac Jones.
Damn right, the few, the proud. So I wanted to get you guys as all 32 starting quarterbacks. Which one would you take over Mac Jones?
Al,
Or
I want to
which-
know your
all of
list.
Okay. Can you guys just name the quarterbacks and I'll say yes or no?
I'm looking it up. I am pulling it up right now. NFL starting quarterback.
Because that's just easier. Because then I can really.
Yeah, because then you might
Awesome.
forget some. And
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, are these all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? 8 times 4 is 24.
34 or 32.
Times
Sorry,
3,
32.
Yeah, no, I know there's 32. Yeah, this isn't the one because you got fucking what's
Math
his name on the
teacher.
list? You got Matt Ryan on the list. That's not okay. Okay. All right.
So just
So
yeah.
I will list them. This one I think they have it in order of stats last year, but either way, it's still people. So we'll
Okay.
kind of do it. So Patrick Mahomes,
Would rather have than Mac Jones? Yes.
yes. Jalen Hurts,
Yes.
Yes.
Joe Burrow,
Yes.
Yes.
Josh Allen.
Yes.
Mm,
Right
I
now,
hate him
yes.
too. I hate him too, but you gotta say yes. I'm actually gonna leave that one.
think I know
Trevor
who it-
Lawrence.
Yes.
No. Fuck no. He's
I'm gonna say no, just
My man.
because I don't think he has proven anything that he should be above it. And if he
Yeah.
hasn't proven that he should be, I'm not gonna put him above Mac Jones. You know what I mean?
Okay.
This,
Fair.
this easy one to me. Tua.
No.
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 No. What,
Jared
dead guy
Goff.
at quarterback.
No. Makes too many
No.
mistakes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hot girlfriend though.
Geno Smith.
No.
Absolutely fucking not.
No, I didn't think so. Dak Prescott.
Not a
Nope.
chance.
Lamar Jackson.
Yes.
I put him
No.
above him. Yeah.
No,
Liam.
dude. No. Best assets availability. We talked about this earlier when the Lamar Jackson Patriots trade rumors came up with the contract dispute. We don't need or want Lamar Jackson.
No, you're right. I get where you're coming from. I'm still gonna put him. And these aren't because if it's up to me,
Yep.
I'm taking Mac Jones over everybody. But again, I'm taking this out of it, just kind of looking what it would do. So yeah. So right
Yeah.
now I got 5 in front of him. Justin Fields.
No.
I'm gonna say no because I
Johnny Manziel has more
it's
300-yard
close.
passing games.
Justin Fields is closer than
Oh.
Trevor Lawrence for me.
Can I pass?
No.
You can pass. You can pass.
No, go fuck yourself. Gun to your head. Answer.
No,
What do
but I feel like
yeah.
that can be.
That's it.
I feel
That's
like
it.
that
No
could change it.
caveats.
No,
I know,
No
no.
caveats.
I'm gonna bring the Justin Herbert.
Yes.
No.
That's the one I skipped earlier. I thought about it. I'm gonna put yes because he has shown I have
Got a
more
cannon.
faith in him. So
Yes.
this one's gonna hurt me. Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have
I'm
to.
saying yeah. I'm saying yeah.
have to.
I hate that I have to say it. I'm taking the fact that he's on the Jets out of it.
The only reason it's an argument is because of
Have
his age. That's the only reason that it's
100%.
why you think about
you
it.
think about it, you're like, but yeah.
Yeah. Brock Purdy.
no.
No. Kyler Murray when he's not playing
No.
games. No. Kirk
I
Cousins.
didn't think about that one. It's close. Kirk Cousins is interesting.
Yeah.
You know what?
yeah.
I'm gonna give
thinking-
Kirk Cousins his props. Yeah. I do think he makes
Yeah.
a shit ton of
Yeah.
mistakes, but just
You know what?
yeah.
Thinking it over, no.
No, and I get
Sorry,
that too.
Kirk.
It's very
So fuck-
close for me.
Yeah, get
Very
fucked, Kirk.
close for me. So Daniel Jones.
Not a chance.
No.
Ryan Tannehill.
Nope.
No.
We're getting to rough ones now, guys. Kenny Pickett.
Confucius say no.
Derek Carr.
No.
No.
I'm
I
saying
do like
no.
Derek
I thought
Carr.
about it. I
But
thought
I
about
think
that one.
he is similar to Kirk Cousins, except Derek Carr makes more mistakes, like
Yeah, he makes a
glaring
lot.
ones. Kirk Cousins will like fuck around for a little bit and then like kind of have a stretch of like some really good things. Derek Carr seems to make mistakes all the time. Andy
Yeah.
Dalton.
No.
Magic 8 Ball says no.
This one's interesting. Matt Stafford.
Ooh, I like, but no. I love Matty Staff. Dude's a gunslinger.
I'm gonna say yes.
Would you want Matthew
Ooh.
Stafford or Mac Jones? You know what? I'm
it's a tough
gonna
one.
come back to this one. Remind me to come back to this one. I
Yeah.
am gonna give an answer. I gotta think about
All
it.
right.
Sam Darnold.
No.
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 He's not even starting.
Marcus
Might be.
Mariota.
Yeah. Now we're getting into backup quarterbacks. No.
Yeah, no, we're getting into Russell Wilson.
No.
I'd rather
easy
have.
for me.
I'd rather have
yeah.
Mac Jones.
Nope.
Would you?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Holy
yeah.
shit.
I don't.
I don't know.
I think Russell Wilson is done. I think he's cooked.
I can't believe he's done.
I think he's cooked.
I cannot.
I think he'll be
fathom it.
better with Sean Payton, but still nowhere near Seattle days.
For sure. But I think he's done. Deshaun Watson.
Of course, it's the Michael Jordan of football.
Talent wise,
I hate to
mean,
say it, but yeah.
Watson's the more talented quarterback.
Got
Yes.
to live with the ladies too.
Taylor Heineke. No.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. No, we're getting into the Zach Wilsons, Davis Mills.
Yeah. Well, now
Matt
let's go
Ryan.
to the rookies here. Bryce Young. Any takers?
No.
I mean,
None
it's
of
tough
the
to judge a
Stroud.
rookie. Yeah. No.
CJ Stroud. No.
Anthony Richardson. Cool, but probably
Yeah,
not.
cool
no.
guy. So right now I have Mac Jones and Matthew Stafford.
Matthew Stafford's a great comparison because it's like if everything works out perfectly for Mac and he achieves the potential I
Yeah.
think he could, then he's Matt Stafford, who is a
But I'm
fucking
also
good
thinking right
quarterback.
now, no. I'm gonna put Matt
Yeah, Not
slightly
right
ahead
now,
of him.
no.
So to me, that I have Mac Jones as the 10th quarterback in the league.
Yeah, I think I have him at 7.
I think I have him right around like 12 or 13.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But-
Well, I mean, Al, we figured you would have him like 20
and
so.
stuff like
Well, I
this.
mean,
Like
I'm 2 or 3 spots away from you. You make it seem like I think he's like 25th in the league.
I have
Yeah,
him
well-
top 10. You have him borderline.
I have him top
barely
12,
making it top
but
15.
we don't have him top 10 though, because this is a potential question. Like we're talking more about the future with a question like this. Like, who would you rather have now and then going forward? Of course, assumably, like we all said Aaron Rodgers because Aaron Rodgers for 1 or 2 years would probably be really fucking sick.
Yeah.
But it's like,
Yeah.
If we're talking about production, then obviously Mac isn't better than most of these players because his production last year was just not good, and his one rookie season is tough to go off of that.
Now, I think Mac Jones, if he has a good year, if he takes a step up from his rookie year, I think a lot of these you can make them easier. Better than Kirk Cousins? Yep. Better than Matthew Stafford? Yep.
Yeah,
Better than Aaron Rodgers? You could probably even make the case for that, depending on how the year goes. Like I think a
Yeah.
lot of people we put in front of him, Justin Herbert, you probably move him in front of that as well. Like there are some people will have Justin Fields in front of him. I think if Mac has a good year, I think you could put him in front of Justin Fields. I think it's very easy for Mac Jones to be a top 7.
yeah.
Maybe
I
he's-
can't imagine
he's
how
at
anyone
7.
has Justin Fields over Mac Jones, but
I think it's just because like the potential.
legs.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's just the
Yeah, that's
potential
exactly what it is.
for what could happen. But yeah, Mac Jones though, good game. I had nothing but good things about it. I don't know how much he's going to play in the
That's
third
my
game.
quarterback.
We'll see. Yeah, no, that's our guy. That's our quarterback. Did you guys happen to see my guy Bryce Behringer?
Behringer.
Behringer, dude.
Bryce Behringer, 2 61-yard punts.
True.
Pretty good.
I think
Yeah.
we found the secret. We're not even a secret weapon. He's out there showing you. He's showing you the
I
weapon.
guess. Yeah, it's a punter, man.
You say that now, but you're gonna care when the Patriots go 3 and out from their own 25-yard line.
Hope they
And he-
don't.
And he
Ideally,
boots them
they
down
never
to
go
the
3 and
5.
out.
You
Yeah.
are gonna. Oh, it's gonna happen. You know it's gonna happen. But I think you guys, you're sitting there poo-pooing it now. You wait to see when next week, because next week's the big episode. When we talk about our regular season not awards, predictions and stuff. He's going to be on my list somewhere, whether it's MVP, special teams player of the year,
He's MVP,
rookie of the
we're
year.
fucked.
He's going to be on my he's going to be on my list somewhere. But no, I think it's good though. I think special teams is going to be going to take a huge step forward. Which
Did you
I think
see
that's all we're asking
Ryland
for.
today's in practice?
He missed Chad Ryland, kicker, missed 3 kicks. Not great. Not great.
Not great is one way to put it.
You know, you could say bad, you could say whatever, but you know what? I rookie kicker kind of learning. I'm hoping he kind of figures it out. I know him and Folk are kind of battling it out right now.
Folk hero. I can't believe he's still around.
What do you guys think's going to happen with that position battle? Folk and Barrett. Do you think they both end up staying on the roster, or like what do you or?
I think you're talking Ryland and Folk, right?
Yeah. Ryland.
I think Ryland gets put on the practice squad, and Folk, and they go with Folk week 1.
And then just kind of once he loses it, which I mean he may. I mean it kind of looked like he might have starting to be losing it last year. If he loses it, then you bring in Ryland, just kind of roll with the rookie.
Right.
I think a strong gust of wind blows Nick Folk to a cloud of dust, and then we have a nice funeral for him, and then we move on with Ryland.
Kind of a harsh transition, but you said funeral. Isaiah Bolden.
That is a harsh transition.
But it was a good one. If we're going to be honest. At that point, I had stopped watching the game. Because I think there was like 10 and a half minutes left right around there in the fourth. I had stopped watching kind of right as the third started. I saw what I needed to see. But kind of note, one of those fluky hits where Bolden's going in looking to make a tackle. It didn't even look like he hit the Packers player. It kind of looked like he bumped his head on, a Patriots guy. Player. And he went down. We don't need to talk about the actual injury. He got concussed, got knocked out, and he got, carted off the field and everything. I think the real story to come out of this is that the Belichick and LaFleur got together. They checked with kind of, the heads of their teams, the old heads, the veterans and whatnot. They just stopped the game, which I thought was a really cool thing to do. It is a preseason game. It doesn't really matter. You're in the fourth quarter of the second preseason game. People, and we all talk about football, rub some dirt in it, do that and everything. But you got to admit, when you see your kind of like the DeMar Hamlin thing last year, that was a real game. When you see your teammate, even though the Packers different team, but when you see a player on there get knocked out like that, have to get carried off the field, I don't think it did any damage stopping the game there. Before we talk about what else happened with that, what do you guys think about them stopping the game for the Bolden injury?
Al?
Liam?
Mike?
Do you think they would have stopped the game if it happened in the second quarter?
Probably, I think, honestly, because I think it kind of came down, or it seemed like Belichick was kind of that was a decision from Belichick, and it kind of came from the players as well. I don't know if it would have mattered because it was a preseason game. Now, if it was a regular season game, I don't know, even though we just saw it happen with DeMar Hamlin. But I don't know. Maybe the precedent was already set last year. So maybe it would have happened in the second quarter.
That's where I'm coming in. Is a precedent set now that whenever this happens, we're going to cancel a game? Obviously it doesn't happen all the time. But friggin', in the 70s or something, there was that Patriots player that got hit by Jack Ham and died on the fucking field. Mm-hmm. And they finished the game. Obviously, that's a horrible tragedy. But, are we just going to cancel every game after this happens? It's terrible what happened to the dude. Obviously, I don't wish a horrible head injury like that. They had to keep his fucking helmet on and cut off his face mask. Shit like that is absurd. Yeah, I don't even know. It's dumb that I even have to defend my own take here, where it's I'm not trying to be insensitive, but
no.
If this happens
from that view,
if this happens in week 7 in the second quarter, are we going to cancel the fucking game after DeMar Hamlin's thing? Is that just going to be the way it goes now? Because that's seems one bad for business, like, and also it's just going to be a ton of like canceled games, and it was
It's
a
a good
pain in the
question.
ass and really
Honestly, that's
dumb
a
during
very good
COVID when
question.
we had to when you'd be halfway through a game and then a whole team would test positive, they'd have to either postpone, cancel, or cut the game out outright.
Mhm.
And it's like it's supposed to be entertainment where it's there no matter what. And yes, it's a tragedy. Fucking no one let when Dion Lewis tore his ACL against the Redskins, I wanted to kill myself, but I
Yeah, it
didn't
was
want
horrible.
them to cancel the fucking game. Like,
Mhm.
it's terrible. Like, terrible things happen. But does that mean we canceled the game? And I think because of this DeMar Hamlin thing and the huge deal that was made out of that, are we just going to be canceling games now? Because that's like the politically correct thing to do because you see a guy basically dead on the field. Like, yes, it's terrible, but it's kind of what they sign up for. And that's what every guy signs up for playing football. Chris Borland realized I am putting my life on the line for a game that I don't really care about, and I don't really care about the money. So he retired after his rookie year. If players care that much, then they retire. Other players are like, we're modern day gladiators. I'm fine with the last 40 years of my life being horribly conditioned as long as I get to be remembered in history and enshrined and make generational wealth. It seems like it's a tough thing to do because obviously we want our athletes, our idols, to stay healthy and happy forever. We want Tom Brady to live till he's 104 years old and die peacefully in his sleep. But like, that's just like not realistic for a game like this. It's the same way with rugby and all these sports across the world. We're just going to be canceling games when a dude gets a head injury in one of the arguably the most popular sport for head injuries.
Al, what's your take on that one? Because I think that's a good way to look at it. Because if it was regular season, I
I think after
don't
the DeMar Hamlin thing, they
know.
would cancel it again. And I'm like I said, it's terrible, but I'm
Yeah,
selfish too. I want to watch these games. Like I don't want them to just be canceled. And what about all the players in the last 40 years that have had horrible fucking Sterling Sharp broke his fucking neck and they
yeah, and
It's
finished the
AJ
because
game.
saw, yeah,
it's because of those 40 years and because of the advancement of understanding head injuries and spinal cord
Yeah,
injuries and
I
stuff like
get it.
that. That's why I was okay with them saying forget it for the rest of the preseason game because it's the second preseason game.
Yes.
There's one
And
more week
I
of
don't
preseason,
yeah.
and that's totally fine.
yeah,
It's
Like
the
yeah. It
fourth
didn't
quarter of a
really matter.
preseason game. So
like
yeah, and it doesn't
great.
like Mike stopped watching. I was still watching, but like I had a halfway vested interest in the game. Like I don't care if the Patriots win or lose, none of it actually matters. But
Yeah,
I'm thinking about the regular season and whatnot.
Yeah. And you know what? If it happens in the regular season, we'll have that discussion. But for this specific game, you did the right thing.
Yeah.
Everyone was happy
yeah,
about it in terms of they wanted to be there for their teammate. They wanted to make sure their teammate was okay because I don't think it's the injuries. Like, yes, those injuries happen but when a guy is lying down on the field, can't move, and isn't moving for several minutes to
mhm,
an extended period of time, that's where it's going to shake a
Yeah.
lot of guys up, unfortunately.
yeah,
And that's just the way it is in today's NFL. You know,
yeah.
do I think it's right necessarily? I don't know. I'm not going to be the judge of that. But what I am going to say is you do have to look out at some point. Like you said, you got to look out for the product, and the product isn't good if you don't have players in the field that
Yeah.
people are gluing their eyeballs to on Sundays, Mondays, Thursdays, etc. So
Yeah.
Like we all saw that Patrick Willis hit on Brad Smith in like 2012. Remember when he gets like folded over and he's
Yep.
lifeless and he falls over? I bet Jets teammates were like, "Holy shit! I just saw my own wide
A
receiver get
murder.
scalped at mid court, and now fucking we got to go out and play a game." It's like that's the mental fortitude and the toughness that it takes to play football. That's why not everyone can do it. And now players are making more money than they ever have. Third string wide receivers are making more money than John Elway did his entire career. So it's like
Mhm.
you're getting compensated for it. Yes, obviously, no one deserves to lose a life. No amount of money makes up for somebody dying, but that you play for the
Tough.
appeal of glory and a lot of money.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. I think it's tough. I think if it happens during the season, you're kind of because we've
Yeah.
seen players get knocked out on the field before and games still go. And I think the DeMar Hamlin thing is different because he did get hit. But, he was trying to make a tackle. It was different. It was, I think his was just a
Yeah.
little scarier. But I think it'll be a case by case thing. I think that's
Yeah.
that's where it'll end up being. But the
I'm waiting for the pray for Bolden huge campaign to roll out.
Yeah, but he's back there. At least he did come back. He flew back with
Yeah,
the
he
team.
did. He did. It's a
But
traumatic hit.
It was
though.
it ended up only being a concussion, I think.
yeah, which I mean makes sense. He
Crazy.
got knocked out, which I think we all saw. But so what that ended up doing, the Patriots canceled their joint practices with the Titans for the week. They're still practicing, they're still doing all that stuff, and then they're still going to fly to Tennessee, obviously, and play Friday night. So I saw I didn't see too much pushback on that, but there was a little bit. Where did you guys stand on the Patriots canceling the joint practices? And they use the guise of, kind of for the players, kind of just not a mental health excuse, but like that was the reason where it's like, we're going to stay home. Everybody's comfortable here. Like, we'll fly out there. We'll still
I have the
practice all
same
that.
take where it's like he was fine, the next day. Like even after the game, they were saying he was reported signs of moving, and I think he was even out of the hospital that night. Like
Yeah.
to go and cancel the entire week is a bit extreme.
I understand why they did it, but I would have liked to seen the Patriots offense another week go up against another defense, because who knows? Like, I know the last preseason game is, quote, like a dress rehearsal for, the regular season, but you're not going to see the starters in there for a long period of time because you don't want anybody getting hurt before the regular season opener. So that's why I think those joint practices were even more important, because then it would have seemed like, okay, do they take the momentum that they had against Green Bay and take that into another week, or was it just a fluke week and they're going backwards, whatever it was? So,
because we played damn well against Green Bay. Like, I want to see this team build on some momentum here. We got smoked in the first game to the shitty Texans, and then we go out there and play a very competent, well-run organization and win by default, but we still won. I don't know. I'm like, God damn it! Like a fan, I feel deprived because one, I wanted to keep reading the stats on how we did against the Titans and whatnot. I was excited to see any mixed up with DeAndre Hopkins or anything like that.
Yeah.
See,
that would have been
Vrabel and Belichick. There was a ton of stuff that I wanted to see, and I'm like, all right, like the dude was fine after the game. We really have to go and cancel the entire practice. And then for the football team that I support, I'm like, every other team is scrimmaging against another team except for now the Patriots and Titans. I'm like, all right, come on now. Just seems like we're behind the 8 ball even more.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely see that. I think I'm kind of just if the players kind of came together, which again, it seems like, the veterans, Judon, Slater, players like that, Adrian Phillips kind of came out too. If they all had like a roundtable type discussion, they wanted to practice there. It is what it is. I know joint practices are, you get the benefit of actually playing, another offense, another defense, kind of seeing how you go up against like a real team that, with competition that you'd be playing, not just your own team, just the other side of the ball. But I think if this is what everybody wanted, it is what it is. As a fan, like you said, I see the selfishness where it's like, damn, I wanted to, kind of hear the reports of, people playing, people doing this, who was guarding Hopkins. But at the end of the day, I don't think it sets them back too much at all. I don't think it's going to make a tangible difference in how they play in the season or what happens. I think it's, I think if anything, if Belichick forced them to go, or kind of was like, hey, mandatory, we got to go, I think that would have done more damage to the team when you're talking about like camaraderie or kind of, the atmosphere of the team, where it's like, okay, so we're all sitting here. We just watched our guy get knocked out on the field. He's fine, or he's as fine as he can be. He came back with us, concussion, all that stuff. And now our coach is, being the no heart, no sympathy. We're still going to go, over there and practice and all that. And especially if the players wanted to stay in Foxborough and do that in practice. I don't know. They're still practicing. They're still getting their shit down. At the end of the day, you still got to make sure that your plays are ran correctly anyways, no matter whether you're playing your own team, you're throwing against the air, or if you're going against, a more competitive other team. I think it definitely would have helped having the joint practice, but I don't think it sets them behind too much. They're still practicing. They're still playing the Titans on Friday. So, I mean, if it helps, team camaraderie stay in there, I'm all for it. It is what it
Yeah.
is in my eyes. Just since we're talking about injuries, another injury that happened, Trey Nixon got hurt, and he actually got funny. We were talking about him last week. Not funny that he got hurt, but just ironic we were talking about him. He actually got waived. He got cut. So Trey Nixon, no longer with the team.
Nailed it.
So you said he was a practice squad guy. So he's out. Speaking of injuries, actually, no, before we leave the game, there's still obviously some things, but I wanted to bring up. Did you guys see Trent Brown?
Yeah.
And I'm not even talking about his play. Did you see what he was wearing?
No.
This irked me more than a missed block. He was wearing the football pants, came down to his knees, and he had low-rise socks on. I know it sounds like a stupid thing to complain about, but you look like a fucking doofus out there. I did not like it at all. I'm sitting there watching it, and even my wife was sitting there. She's like, "Is that he doesn't normally wear that, right?" I'm like, "No, he looks like an idiot," and it upset me more than it should. I actually wrote it. It was the second thing that I wrote down on my list of things to talk about. I thought there's really no crazy bigger thought to it. I just didn't know if you guys caught it, noticed it. It just annoyed me. It was one of those things. I was like, "Look at you. No wonder you can't block. You can't even pull your socks up."
I think I can speak for Al here when we say that you need therapy.
Well, I need therapy just as much as Trent Brown needs someone to dress
I
him
get it.
before
It
the
does.
game.
It looks very high school.
Looked weird.
Like, I think
Looked weird. Like,
even,
come on,
even
uniform.
college players do it.
One
yeah,
unit.
definitely. Like,
Son
yeah,
of a bitch.
but
Yeah, I didn't like
I think I don't know. Did you play youth football and get stepped on by somebody who fucking wore a uniform like that or
No,
something?
I just did not like it. I just didn't like it. Yeah. Anyway, but actually
who
moving on to an actual take. I wrote this one down. I wrote a hot take. I saw one person say it on Twitter, on X, and I was like, you know what? I'll throw it to the guys, see what they say. Too early to worry about Christian Gonzalez. First round pick.
Way too early.
Is it? Is it though? He looks pretty bad, like across the board. Like even I was looking at the practice stats today. Have been all week. Been watching him in the game. Like, I'm not saying I want him to go out there and knock down every pass, but knock down a pass, do something. He's out there just running with receivers, letting them get open. Quarterbacks have had like an incredible completion percentage. Usually they're backups against.
Yeah, I'm not gonna sound. I'm not gonna do the. I
don't want to put a ton of stock in it, but like have a pass deflection. I'm pretty sure he's given up 100% completion percentage against guys. It's like, he doesn't play the whole game by any means, but like he starts, he's out there at the beginning, like build on some momentum. You figure you hype yourself up. I want something. Fucking Stephon Gilmore's undrafted brother got an interception for the Lions. Like
right.
fucking our first round pick can't get a pass deflection.
So
that's a pass interference. Show me some sort of defense. Punch the guy in the dick when the ball's in the air.
He did get called for pass interference, which was good, and it didn't look like it was pass interference. But he's a rookie, so he's not going to get that call. I want to bring it to you guys because he's the first round pick, and everybody, when he was on the board, when the Patriots were picking, they were like, "Oh, you have to take Christian Gonzalez. Like you have to take him. He is going to be a bona fide star in the league. You have to take him." And it's just the only reason I'm bringing it up. And I'm still not like worried about him, but I guess I'm cognizant to the fact that he isn't playing how I thought he was going to play. And I know I still, like I said, have complete faith that he is going to develop into whatever, he's a rookie. Not everyone's going to look like Keon White. Coming right in there and looking like he belongs with all the adults and everything. But it's just, I don't know. I expected him, and I think it's more of the talk around him, which kind of led my expectations to this. I thought he was going to be like, he was going to have like one of the lowest completion percentages. I mean, he's not even really going up against starters too much. Like I just thought
and that's my problem. Backup quarterbacks and non-starters. And I'm like, I'm not looking for a dominant performance, but show me something. I've literally seen nothing. And I'm like, I'm not freaking out, but I'm not
Underwhelmed. You're
satisfied.
underwhelmed. I think
Yeah,
that's where I'm
exactly.
at. I'm not worried. And Al, I want to get your thought because I don't think you're on the I don't think you're on that train. But I'm just underwhelmed. I'm not worried. I'm just like, like I'm sure he'll still be good. But yeah, I just thought, I don't know. I thought he was gonna kind of, show up, maybe have a pick now, maybe a couple batted down ball, just like some really, really good blanket coverage. He's looked good. Like, don't get me wrong, but it's just like I don't. I'm just underwhelmed. How do you feel?
I'm kind of meh. I mean, I haven't expected him to get a lot of playing time in the preseason because they're trying to get him ready for the regular season. So
Yeah.
it is what it is. I'll start worrying about him in week 4 or 5. Give him a month.
Yeah.
Give him some time to get some adequate playing time and actually going up against number 1 receivers.
I mean, even in practice, though, he's just been, not very good. Like, I don't really hear a whole lot of Christian Gonzalez made a great play today in practice.
Yeah, you kind of hear people.
There've been a good
kinda,
amount of reports.
Yeah, there's been reports he's been playing well, but then you kind of see reports too, people going up over him and everything. But it's just, I do think it's growing pains. How soon do you guys think until we hear those rumblings, those talk show topics where it's like, is now too early to worry? When should
Probably
we
after
start
week
worrying
1.
about that? Probably
Yeah,
after week 1, week
basically.
2, something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Like,
I'm
if
sure
he
we'll
goes
get it.
2 weeks, like week 1 and week 2, without like a good percentage,
Any
holding.
impact? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. I wanted to throw it out there. I didn't know where you guys were at. Do you guys have anything else you guys want to talk about from the game itself?
Nope.
No. Okay. Practice this week. Mike Gesicki showed up. He was in the red non-contact jersey, but he showed up making catches, running routes, doing things. Great sign, I think. Great sign, because before he got hurt, he was, making one-handed catches on the sidelines, looking great, looked to be a big part of the offense. Him being back, very good. But the real return I wanted to talk about, I don't know if you guys saw this. The future defensive player of the year showed back up to practice. I don't know if you guys saw. No, not Matthew Judon, not Keon White, not Christian Barmore. One Ronnie Perkins.
Thinking of any of those guys.
One Ronnie Perkins is back at practice, guys.
All right, Liam, you good to end this episode?
Yeah. So he'll get hurt in 2 days and then be right back on the PUP list.
I wrote Ronnie Perkins fucking practiced. That was the last thing.
All right. Let's wrap this up, Mike.
That's what we have to be excited for, huh?
I have two really quick topics in my
practice.
in my
We're
random
about
shit.
Practice?
In my random
not
shit.
A game. Not a game. Not a game. Practice? We're talking about practice.
Liam, Al, we kind of called it last week. All these players were in all these crazy fucking numbers. I know, Liam, you saw it. Al, did you get a chance to see what number Teddy Bridgewater's wearing?
Fucking disgusting.
50.
Fucking
Isn't that
50.
Fucking awful.
Matt Jones
really
had
gross.
that number as a rookie. 50. Dumb. We complete anarchy. Complete anarchy. We've made there. Liam, you said slippery slope. I mentioned we're already down the slope.
Yeah.
We're at the bottom of the hill. This is the bottom of the hill. Teddy Bridgewater is going to start a game this year wearing number 50.
It's
50.
abhorrent.
Disgusting. Disgusting.
Yep. This is where everything goes south. The economy crashes. The dollar has no value. There's no gold behind our currency. Soon people will be eating and scalping each other. It's all so predictable.
He tied it all together. I'm going to leave you guys with one quote from Adrian Phillips during practice, or during the interviews after practice and everything. They asked him about the Green Bay kerfuffles, little scuffles they had there. Adrian Phillips said, if you turn it up a little bit, we're going to turn it all the way up. That's the fucking attitude that the Patriots need to have going into this year. If you fuck with us a little bit, that's fine. If you push us, we're going to knock you out. If you do something, we're gonna shove you down. There's no in between, no half measures. It's all or nothing. Adrian Phillips, I think that quote encompasses this team. I loved it. I wrote it down for that reason. I think that's the attitude that the Patriots are going to have going into this year. And I think that's the attitude that Patriots fans need to have going into this year. People talk shit about your team, talk shit back, push them, punch them, scalp them, kill them, do what you got to do.
Yeah.
So for what were you going to say?
Was Adrian? No, was Adrian Phillips hurt most of last year? He was, right?
He got hurt a little bit if I
Yeah.
remember correctly.
He
Did
just
he?
didn't really play that much.
I
'cause
thought
I
he
don't
did.
remember.
No, he played a fair amount. I think it was more Jabril Peppers was making the headlines since he was making all the
Yeah.
hits. And then Duggar was obviously
Duggar.
the safety that everybody was talking about. So yeah, again, you turn it up a little bit, we're gonna turn it up a lot. So that's
yeah.
that's the quote going into the year.
Testify.
So for Liam, Al, I'm Mike. This was Tuck Rule Takes episode 96. Next week, 97. Should be a good episode. Got our regular season predictions and all that fun stuff. See what we can do. And yeah, other than that, you guys have any parting words? We're out.
Go Pats.
Bring back scalping.
God, scalping. Okay, goodbye. Sweet.